And
Live
here we
from
are.
Wollongong. It's Sunday morning or Saturday night.
Yeah, wherever you might be in the world. G'day, folks. How are we? I'm going to try to make it a quick show today. Yeah. 1 hour show. G'day, Thomas. How are you? So, bugger, missed out on Wigwag. Andy, how are you, buddy? John Benicki. Zantek, how are you?
Hi, guys.
Geez, that sounds like something I take.
Well, it is.
It is. Curly Dwight, how are you? Anyone else that have popped in? Alma, how are you, buddy? Nice to see you in here. Hopefully you guys are defrosting up there. I heard that you guys have got a fair bit of snow up there for Amherst. Ouch. Not good. Over here we've been having a mixed bag of weather between hot and cold and stormy. Not last night, on Friday night we had Ray Bernstein, we had a wild night here with another case of lightning storms and whatnot. Knocked our power out and internet out, but yeah, I'm still alive, Ray. Just I don't smell thank God we don't have smelling that. Because I tell you what, I don't smell like I'm alive. I smell like I'm dead. Yeah, I'm still having issues. My shoulders are acting up pretty bad. I've been in a lot of pain the last couple of weeks, but this last week itself, still having a lot of problems in my right armpit where it's weeping and it smells worse than a fish market, or between a fish market and a rotten corpse being laid out in the sun. I just can't go anywhere. Not the way I am. And of course I'm just over it. They want their things to be put down on paperwork or whatnot, but it's already been there. It's been mentioned for the last 5 years, 6 years now. G'day, Randall, how are you?
Hey, Randall, good to see you.
Nice to see you guys. So I've actually had an interesting, I would say an interesting week, 2 weeks. Well, I'm trying to get motivated to get back in the back room. And I've been toying with the idea of, as everybody knows, I was doing automation, and I'm using a computer program on running the trains automatically, so I can sit back. G'day, Skookil. How are you, John? As you all know, I've got my workbench area where everything's set up, and then I've got my viewing area, which is at the door. Like Anthony's been there. Like when you come at the door, it's a nice little viewing area there. You can see the whole lot.
Yep.
So he's sitting there enjoying watching the trains go past. But the problem is, when something goes wrong, I'm too far out of reach to stop things. So I've been working on, I've got a couple of little swivel stands. I'm going to put a little swivel stand for the monitor, and I've been playing with an idea of having monitors. And if anybody's watched his channel, Anthony has, Hovermotion. He's using the same program, and he's actually using 3 monitors at his workstation. It just makes it easy when you've got everything you can see and spread out. Well, I decided to take the similar leap to him. You're still dealing with your health issues too. Oh, that's not good, Randall. If you get bad, mate, the better. But yeah, so I decided I might toy with the idea of
I made it simple. Okay.
getting a touch screen, get real fancy, try to keep up with, try to keep up with people like Heath, with the latest tech. So, okay. First of all, what I did mention, I bought actually Curly White is actually, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago on Dave's channel, Crooked River. And that's these mini cube computers. Now, I did buy a laptop, a Hewlett Packard laptop to just run the layout. It didn't want to work, plus it used a lot of space. Then I was thinking, once upon a time, we used these mini computers at the airport, and I thought, hey, are they still available? And look how small it is. It's in the palm of the hand. So I got there to try it out. I've been testing it out and it worked well. And now this is going to run the layout. This little tiny thing here. Well, it's even got two jacks on the monitor jacks at the back. But I'm talking about having 3 monitors, so I end up having to buy an adapter where I can actually have 3 monitors, which I've been playing with. Now, beautiful Amazon, you got to love it, but I think some of it's my own fault too, where you really got to read what you order. Look at the fine print. I put in touch screens. So I'm going down through the list, and I found this monitor, a Hewlett Packard. Again, I don't know why I got a Hewlett Packard, but the price was good. It was $100 or $200 Australian for the monitor.
It's not bad for if it's touchscreen. That's not bad.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought, because I'm going through the whole heap of them. And they're all on the screen, it's all touch screens. And I go, 21 and a half, 22 inch, just perfect. Not too big, not too small. It'd be perfect in the back room. All right, I'll grab that. What the heck? I'll get 2. So I've got one in my workstation and one where I'm going to sit. So I can actually just get a Greek. If I just want to go and emergency stop, all I got to do is just reach for the stop button. I don't have to find my mouse or anything like that. Just bang, stop. Jeez, we're all falling apart. So I thought I've ordered 2 of them, plus a normal monitor like what I've got behind this computer here now, which I bought for this cube computer. There was a Acer, the refurbished $69 23-inch screen. Not at that price, so I grabbed another one. So I was thinking, I'm going to have 3 monitors for the back room.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. Well, the monitors did arrive. G'day, Joe, how are you? I think I'm going to have to go up to Amazon Dispatch up in Sydney and give them a visit, because
Hello, Joe, what you know?
The way the delivery guys delivered it, I think it was on Wednesday. One of them days we actually had a wild weather out here. When you put something like boxes like monitors, that big, long and whatnot, when you bring them and put them on someone's front step, particularly in a high-risk area where stuff gets stolen, you're going to pull it flat.
Mm-hmm.
No. He's put it up, high end up, and it's going like this in the wind. So every time Dick and Harry can see right over the other side of the football field, hey, he's got some packages. Let's come and pinch him. G'day, Todd Armstrong. How are you? And it specifically put down knock on arrival. it's not put on the label. He did not knock, just dumped it and gone. Oh, okay. Oh, well. It's going to be another issue I've got to go and deal with. But bring the boxes inside. I already had the stands because I got the arms and whatnot. There was swivel stands and whatnot for the monitors. So just waiting for the monitor. I'll open up the front one, the first box. They're supposed to have the touchscreen monitoring. Open the box up. It's 2 plugs, power cords. They got these 4K HDMI plugs now. They're different plug, right? 2 lots of them. Yeah. I got 2 boxes, so what? They must have put everything in the one box. Well, the plugs, there's just one monitor in the box, so I thought. 2 stands, okay. I thought, they could have just put one in each, you know. No. Yeah, kept on going. Then I get to the monitors. There's 2 bloody monitors in the box. And I'm like, but mind you, I was already thinking about buying a 3rd monitor of the same type. If they're going to be that price, I might as well get the 3rd one. But I just see how these would go before I put another order in. Thank God I waited. It gets better. It gets better. I open up the box, get one monitor out, and I have a look. There's 2 monitors in the box. So what's in the other box? Well, the 3 boxes, thinking there's going to be 3 monitors, and I'm like, God, no. Don't tell me that other box has got 2 monitors in. Nah, can't be. Anyway, of course, you know, like everybody has got a new toy, they've got to get it out and get it up and firing. So, started setting everything up, mounted onto the stand, plugged it into this. I don't have a HDMI cable. Because if you have a look at this, it hasn't got a 4K jack on it.
Yeah.
Right? So I had to go
HDMI, or is it HDMI? I couldn't quite tell. Is it HDMI or is that the new DVI?
No, this is a HDMI, but it's
because they're very similar.
Because a DVI one, yeah, it is very similar. Let me just go and get the cable.
Right. Don't mind me, folks. I'm waiting too.
That's a HD.
Yeah, that's the new DVI. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, that's not going to plug into my little box. I've got to go and get in my new boy now. It's all.
I'll say I've got adapters. I've got HDMI to DVI and DVI to HDMI. I've got all the HDMI cables you need. Too bad I can't just hand them to you here.
It came with this cable. It came with another cable that plugs into the USB 3 plug thing, thinking that's going to be for the touchscreen and everything else, you know. Oh, well, I've got the other monitor out. I'll get that up, get that all hooked up. But the cables, it won't fit into here. All right. Quickly raced into Bunnings, which is our Home Depot. It's 5 o'clock because everything's closing. The electronic, JK Electronics is just a little bit too far away.
Okay.
That's about 30-minute drive. By the time I get there, they're closed. Bunnings is 5 minutes down the road.
Okay.
So I've got 2 cables. Plugged it all in. Okay. Touchscreen. Doesn't want to work. Going through all the settings, trying to find the settings, trying to find a driver. No driver. What's going on here? So anyway, I go back to my Amazon page to have a look at Amazon and see what I did I miss something? What did I buy? I swear it was touchscreen. Have a look. No, they're refurbished monitors.
Mm-hmm.
They're not touchscreen. They're 22.5-inch flat screen backlit monitors.
All right.
2 per pack.
Okay.
Bugger. I want a touchscreen. But why all these cables? Why is this other cable? So I plugged everything in. No difference. It didn't like going through the USB. But anyway, I still want to go with the 3 monitors.
Right.
I'm still going to go with it. When I'll look in the touchscreen a bit further down the track. So I need these adapters because I've only got 2 jacks in here, but I want to use a third. So I end up buying an adapter or a splicer. They call it docking station.
Yep.
So I managed to get 2 operating at the 1. So I just got to use the third one now. I've got to. The lounge room's a mess. You've got no room. You can't work it. G'day, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
But I managed to get 2 going off the 1 port.
Yeah.
So
okay, that's good. Yep.
So that's good. Well, used 1 port there and used the they got the new I found out these blue ones that you can actually plug your monitors into.
Huh.
If
I
they're
don't know
black, you can't.
I don't know. I would be surprised. I have not seen in limited experience a monitor that can work straight off of a USB, even a USB 3 port.
A guy was actually went through the joys of YouTube. Back again. Hang on.
See, my motherboard has 2 HDMI and 2 DVI on the back, and then the added video card, the graphics card has 2 DVI and 1 HDMI on it. And the thing is, once you put the video card in, the motherboard ones are non-functional.
Yeah.
You don't use the ones on the motherboard. You got to use the ones to. So I've got 2 monitors up with room to put a third one in if I wanted to go 3 monitors. Also, this monitor that's in front of me has string to string capability. So I could literally, if I couldn't plug a monitor into here, I could plug it into this one, and then it would read them both down into my computer.
Yeah. Now, this guy that I went to on this site, I forgot his channel. He was actually shown how to hook up 5 monitors onto a laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly one of the new ones. Not too fancy overboard, but he actually showed that you can actually do it. And he was actually explaining if you got on your laptops and your computers where you got these blue jacks, see how they're blue, that you can actually use those. They're powered enough to run a monitor. They work similar to your new, what they call those little C jacks, or what are they called, these little ones?
USB-C.
USB-Cs, right? Because this will actually plug into your computer, the USB-C. You can plug that into your laptop. That gives you another monitor, as well as like this one here. I've got a VGA, and I've got this. Now, a lot of computers, laptops will also have the blue jack. With the blue jack, you can actually plug this into it. This is a docking port for the monitors. Now, I did this. I bought this off Amazon. I plugged it in, and of this little system here, and it worked.
Okay.
So using this and the proper VGA, that gives me 2 monitors.
Okay.
So the other one would be the third one, which I can put down on the far side.
Oh,
So
all right.
all is good. So all is good. It's been a learning curve.
Yeah.
It's been a
My
learning
my
curve.
son's the computer geek because he does so much online gaming and everything else. So you walk into his house and there's one room and he's just got one big monitor, 2 small ones, 2 medium-sized ones here, and he's got stuff on every screen while he's on his headset talking to his
Does he
friends
want a
while they're
holiday?
playing various games, and his wife is on another computer in another room playing along.
And this little cube thing is also Wi-Fi.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
even know about it. It's Wi-Fi too. Now I did upgrade because same here. Any of those 2 boys want a holiday to here to help me set mine up?
I've
Now,
got 2 monitors. I have 2 monitors. I mean, this is not connected. This is just a laptop computer I use to as an additional backup for my train control system, just to have another screen rather than opening multiple windows on one computer. But I've talked like I want to put a third monitor in here. So like when I'm doing the wacky weekends, I want to put, like my OBS up on one screen and then the another window up here, another, and that way I can do it all without dropping, lowering, dropping, lowering. No, it's trying to talk Joyce into spending money on a third monitor. She's like, "What do you need a third monitor for?" And I've toyed with Jack.
I've
And
got a
this,
spare one.
yeah. I've talked to Joyce about. Originally, I was going to jack this one up, but I'm going to give this one to Randall Ellison if he wants it, because he doesn't have a laptop and I've got like 3 spares. I'll give this one. Then I'm going to move my Acer Nitro down here because it's a slightly higher powered one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Randall. I'm not giving you the best available, but this also has a bigger screen.
Is
And
that the
more
one you
memory.
brought over
And
here?
it has more memory, because that's why I have a spare Acer Nitros, because A, it had a small screen and I hate small screens, and
Yeah.
B, it only had like an onboard 275 gig memory because I was too cheap to pay to get the 1 terabyte or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I maxed it out fairly quickly and got frustrated, constantly changing.
This thing
moving
here
things.
cost me, it was cheaper than my new laptop I bought before Christmas. New Hewlett Packard laptop that I meant to be a backup for the one that I got, because this one's got a noisy fan. Was $300, $350, and I had a lot of problems trying to get one gaming site up called Steam. I couldn't get it to run because you need to get all these other add-ons programs for it to work, and I couldn't run Train Controller on it.
Oh,
which cheesed me off.
Which kind of defeats the whole purpose, yeah.
Yeah, but I still was able to back up the very important files that's on this computer, particularly with the upcoming matter that's coming. I need all that documentation and photos and that. I had to back that up, so I got that. But where I end up going down to where I bought my SLR camera from, they had one that was just a little bit better spec'd out Acer, same age, Windows 10 operating system, like what I got here now, for 150 second hand with 5 years warranty. So, gone. That's a backup now for the training room. But this here, no space at all. $200. Now I upgraded to a gaming one because I like playing my. I'm not really that much into gaming, but I'm into stuff like I don't know if anyone's seen the game. It's called Transport Fever 2. It's sort of like Sim City, but it's a transport empire. G'day, Dave Kookaroo, how are you?
Dave.
So I got that one, which is a little bit bigger. Let me just unplug everything here. That's the other one. This one's more up to date.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the new one. That's to replace my desktop for now. That's the difference in size.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's the difference in sizes.
Well, you're not smuggling those in your pants anywhere, are you?
No. And the good thing about this is another tip the one the guys were showing. I can actually mount this once I get it set up.
Well, I just made a joke about smuggling in your pants. I wasn't talking actually trying to mount. Oh, I'm sorry. You meant something else.
I can actually mate. Yeah.
Bad, Anthony. Bad, Anthony.
Good on you, Anthony. I can put this not up where the sun don't shine, but I can put this out of sight behind the monitor. Because I've got little mount screws on the back, and the guy was actually showing how to put this behind your monitor, where you have where you got your mounting what you call it, where you mount your monitors onto a stand.
Oh, right.
Good, and yeah, that's what's going to end up going. That's going on the back of one of the monitors.
Okay.
So, do you need a monitor? I've got a spare one.
I think it'd be a little bit of a hassle and price trying to send it from Australia here. No, I probably have spare monitors somewhere in here too. We've gone through so many computers in our lives. I'm sure either somewhere in my son's old bedroom before he moved out, and probably in storage back there. There's probably another monitor. Or, the funny thing is, you talk about touch screen. I buy so many things that are touch screen, and other than my phone and my tablet, even though I have touchscreen, I wind up getting stylus or a mini mouse to run it anyhow. I hate using touch pads on laptops, and I hate doing touchscreen on computer monitor, because after a while you got all your fingerprint stains on. You're constantly having to clean it. So,
well, the biggest reason why I wanted the touch screen, the biggest reason is when things go wrong, all I got to do is hit the stop button. Makes it easy. It's already in the program. You just basically press the button,
right?
Stop. But if I need to change a turn that quickly, because someone forgets to turn, I can turn it. But it just as a backup.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody's situation is different too. For example, with me, I have a panic stop button. All the controllers all have a panic stop button on them, including my main. And then I get my control system on my phone. So if I'm running these trains by myself and I want to go over there and do something, I take my phone with me and I got the panic stop on it to stop everything. But yeah, I guess if you don't have that kind of system, then yeah, it's real easy to just go on the screen and hit pop stop.
G'day, BNC, how are you? But you see, on the back of this one here, I've got two internet jacks, but I've got the two different monitor plugs in the back.
Yep.
And this one is what I'm actually running. That one particular game I play called Transport Fever 2, which it can be a bit of an addictive game. I'll just play for it for an hour, and then 3 hours later. So this is going to be basically, for now, it's going to be my my replacement for my desktop that's been dead since 22. But this one here, for $200 odd, installed the programs in it, and had it running here for a couple of days, maxed it out and still worked fine.
Okay.
I didn't have to put any add-on programs to run Stream. The train controller program is on this as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
everything is on it. I didn't have to fool around. All I had to do is, as a lot of us like to do at times, plug and play. That's all. That's all
indeed. I enjoy plugging and playing.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So what? You're still stuffing around. I mean, don't have to buy it. G'day, John Manicki. How are you? You don't have to buy flowers or candy or sweet talking. Just plug it in and off I go. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody anyway who missed out on Valentine's.
I even wore red for Valentine's Day after.
You always wear red.
Stay late and $1 short.
Well, in Chinese mythology, that means good luck and wealth, wearing red. So there you go.
Well, that's where I was. I got home about 10 minutes before I logged on with you. Joyce and I went out to a movie.
Ooh.
Yeah, one of those kind of movies. No. See if somebody's come up with new ideas. No.
You go to Hamburg. They've got all the new trends over there, haven't they?
No. Hamburg is so cleaned up anymore. It's long lost.
Ask John Ricard.
The Reeperbahn is still a bad area late at night, or at least Grosse Freiheitsstraße. But the Reeperbahn itself, if people don't know, up until the 80s or early 90s, the Reeperbahn, which is German, I mean, when you say it, it sounds like an appropriate name. That was the major red light district of Hamburg, and it vied with the one section in Amsterdam to be, it called itself the naughtiest street in the world. Back, I had a friend who was military police in the early mid 80s over in Hamburg. He started in Berlin and moved to Hamburg. And he had to patrol the Reeperbahn. And he would tell you the stories that you had the bordellos where the women just stand in the windows and dance and advertise what they'll do. And now you walk down the Reeperbahn in daylight and it's like a tourist thing. They still have all these sex shops with everything on display, and then there's all these museums like the famous Hamburg Beetle Museum was right there in the middle of it, and then you have Grosse Freiheitsstraße, which was where the real sort of naughty clubs were. The Reeperbahn was the main strip, and then all the side strips, and then I can't remember what the second back street is. And right in the middle of it was this Catholic church that basically was there for all the sinners to come and, it would monitor them. And, but yeah, it had all the strip clubs.
After they sin, they go there to get their sins forgiven. Yeah.
Exactly. So it was but yeah, it's taped down. Joyce and I, been to Hamburg many times, but a couple times we went up to the Beatles Museum. We went up to the Beatles Museum in daylight. At nighttime, we've been told it's still a pretty rough place. You really don't want to be there unless you really know what you're doing in that area. But we've been in the daylight, but literally across the street are all these family play, literally across the street. So you could be walking with your kids down the street. There's all these shops and kiddie museums and, all these play areas and shopping and everything else. But again, the Germans and maybe Europeans in general just aren't as hung up about that stuff as Americans.
This the thing is when it comes to that, a lot of European countries, particularly Central European and towards the eastern side, are more liberal about stuff like that, compared to say the Americans, the English, and the Australians and such.
The funny thing is, the English are in some ways, I won't say hypocritical about it, but they definitely there's the reputation that they're very stiff upper lip, but at the same time they're all a bunch of cross-dressing wild men behind the scenes. But those clubs are there and well known and open to in the right districts of London and Liverpool and
You're not mentioning any names like Andy, are you? G'day, Marty, are you? How are you?
We're not mentioning any names, Andy.
Yeah.
But I mean, all you gotta do is watch Monty Python, and you get to see some of the hints. It may be exaggerated, but
I gotta say, it's funny. I don't know how they did it over there in Hamburg to clean it up. But the Port Kembla, we've been down Main Street of Port Kembla.
Right.
It's all been cleaned up. And it was funny how they cleaned that up. Port Kembla, Wentworth Street, the main drag, was our Wollongong's red light district.
Oh, okay.
Right. Does she go?
Does she go? Nudge, nudge. Know what I mean? Nudge, nudge.
Yeah. She did go.
Does she do photograph?
Yeah. She did that too.
Yeah.
So,
know what I mean? Nudge.
As we go down Wentworth Street, I think we went down it. Nearly every corner, whatnot, you'll have at least 4 or 5 girls, and occasionally you have a couple along the strip. And it's only about, I would say, a quarter of a mile, if that. Not even a quarter of a mile, the strip. The street.
Okay.
Mind you, that we did used to have a lot of go-karts racing down there. But we know where the go-karts always used to crash because the kids go, "Look, Mummy, she's not wearing any clothes." Yeah. Okay. And there was like a couple of brothels, a couple of 2, 3 adult bookshops and whatnot. The area really had a bad seedy reputation because of the prostitution and all the other stuff. A lot of shops end up closing, particularly when the steelworks started scaling down the staff, the number of staff they had in there, because everything went automation. I know nothing. So he says, when a lot of computerization, automation started coming in, there was big layoffs. So Port Kembla died, but the prostitution went on the rise. Now, before my accident, they were actually in the process of cleaning that seediness out of it. And it took them a while to work. But the police got involved. Now, prostitution in Australia, in our area, is not illegal. It is illegal out on the street. You do have legal brothels or whatnot that are licensed. But for you to be out on the street, that is actually illegal. So what was happening is, like, the whole area, including down to the station and where we filled the truck up, if you didn't know, they just don't remember any. You had too many beers, right? Okay.
Right.
Here I am filling up the truck, and this piece comes up very silly, very revealingly dressed. But she looked too nice to be
too nice.
a escort or a lady of the night on the street. She goes, "Are you looking for a good time?" And I'm like, "I'm always looking for a good time, but I ain't paying for it." And your mate over there in the car over there in the unmarked cop car, yeah, I'm not going into there. I don't like those type of handcuffs. They're actually going there and trying to get people or guys to just get suckered into picking up women on the corner. I'm like, yeah, no, you're too clean to be working in Port Kembla.
Right.
Yeah, down to the end of the high street. And exactly, yeah. But you want to be careful there, Marty. You want to make sure that during the weekday they're at legal age too. We have them over here, and there's a lot of them that you're just like, no, I'm not going in there. Nathan, how are you, buddy?
No, what killed Hamburg, what killed the Reeperbahn, although again, it's still a rough area and it still has some of those, but it was tourism. It became so famous that just mom and pop tourist groups were like, well, my son, when he was in the military, talked about it, or my husband talked about it, so we came back. So all of a sudden you got all these tourist groups going in
And they're
there.
still
And
coming back.
And
But
some people realize there's more money in the tourism than there was in the dirty trade business.
Yeah, well, I mentioned this before. I mean, sometimes we'll play around with it, like Jack around, but particularly with people like Andy and the people in the UK about King's Cross, like in Sydney.
Okay.
The King's Cross in Sydney, we actually got two red light districts in Sydney. We've got Oxford Street and we've got King's Cross. King's Cross is basically co-ed or normal couples, male, female. Oxford Streets, that's where you have the gays, trans, and everything else. And they're next to each other. Are you going to see Sparky? Oh, great. Yeah, that's good, Nathan. It's get you up there. I hope you have a good visit. Now, King's Cross, they end up doing the same thing what they've done in Port Kembla. They did it over in King's Cross. However, King's Cross in Sydney,
I thought it was earlier.
They had a lot of mafia style, the gang related, the bars and the strip joints and whatnot over there. They're actually there's a series called Underbelly from Australia. It's worth having a look, and it actually talks, and it's a series on the I'm trying to think of it. It's not so much gang. Well, it is gang related, sort of thing. G'day, Scottsdale. We're not talking about ladies of the night. Last week. Yeah, we were. Well, we're just finishing off because there's some of us that missed out for Valentine's Day, Scots. What, did you miss out?
No, it was just you just mentioned talking about ladies of the night and you're just finishing off. And
yeah.
Sometimes the jokes just write themselves unintentionally.
Oh, but I tell you what, it was, yeah, they did end up, yeah, they ended up cleaning up. If Marty would have gone there in his younger days, it was rough. It's really cleaned up. Where they're gone to now, I don't know. Anthony, is it true that German trains are painted red at the bottom of each? Yes, Nathan, that is correct. And it wasn't just the German trains. A lot of Europeans actually did exactly the same thing.
Actually, during World War II, they hid any dark color or bright colors because it could draw fire, especially once the air war went against Germany. So they wouldn't have had bright colors like red on them.
Yeah, it was actually
they painted them red. They've had red on the bottoms even pre-war. Now maybe that's why they were painted red then. But during World War II, they would have been all black. Although they had some others that were like various dark grays and blues.
Yeah. Oh, it would have been that the oxide red, which is a lot duller than your normal red. Yeah, that too, Scots. Yeah, no. Yeah, I always thought that. What do you want to see from America that you normally don't see where you live, as in like it matters? Well, I actually got to see the big engines that you guys got over there, like the SD70 Max and those locomotives, and the new GEs. What are they? The 4400s. Now we have those versions over here, but they are Delma Marva. How are you? They're actually lower and longer. Thank you, ET44AC. Thank you, Randall. That's the one I was after. Ours are modified. You see, the NRs are based on the 4400s and that dash nines. The new ones that came out, that have got out now, running within the state, is basically the ET44ACs or the SD70 Max.
Right. I am not going to find it now. Oh well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have spent the last 10 minutes or whatever it has been trying to go through all our trip to Germany pics, but it was easily 10, 15 years ago, and show some of the pictures of Joyce and me on the Raper Bond.
Oh, okay.
I've got pics of us where Joyce and I.
Joyce got you on the collar leash, has she?
No, we didn't play that game.
Oh, you didn't play.
You're still barking up on the wrong tree with that thought. But no, we went up there to. Joyce
got you on the leash.
I went up there to see the Beatle Museum and also the two of the three famous clubs where the Beatles played before they became famous. But while we're there, let's look at the Raper Bond. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Somebody says, interesting, Anthony, they would do that on the British steam engines. Yeah, I mean, yes, the Germans obviously did some camouflage, especially as the war turned against them. But you could go back to steamers from the 1920s after World War I, and they always had the bottom painted red. And yeah, maybe the red made certain cracks or imminent failures obvious. I don't have the deep knowledge of German rail or rail period to know if that is why they were painted red. I've always admired, like, half my steamers have red on the bottom.
But... Well, that is what they actually was saying, and I actually was reading up on it. Where that's one of the reasons, like, if there's any cracks or defects that was actually showing, it actually showed off better off in the red color. It wasn't actually painted there to make it pretty. It actually had an actual reason for it. There was a period there during World War II that they didn't paint it, but back after World War II, they started repainting all of the wheels and underframe red, because red, yes, red will, for some reason, will always show cracks up better than any other color apart from white. But a lot of European countries went that way too. They all had their own sense of style, Nathan. Everybody's got their own taste, so to speak. My taste differs to his, and my taste differs to yours, and what we look into, you know. So it's a variety. Just like fashion, really. I mean, the fashion over Europe will be different than the fashion in the US and over here. Depends where you go. Some leave their shorts down the beach, where some don't bother taking any shorts to the beach. So
some just like to leave a memorial. That's all I'm going to say.
Diversity, that's the word I was looking at. Yeah. Thanks, Sandy. Thanks to a fellow European to help us out here. So the Australian style of trains here on the main East Coast line, even to this date, still follows the UK load gauge and dimensions, which they are finding a lot of problems. No, we're not talking about politics, mate. No, we're not going to talk about that. Our loading gauge over here is very similar to the British loading gauge. The heights and dimensions of our bridges and tunnels is is same as the UK's, but it's different in one. G'day, Robin Taylor.
Oh,
So
hi.
we actually follow that. We actually follow the UK rule because we basically fall underneath the British, originally the British Empire, now as a part of the Commonwealth. So a lot of that a lot of that trends from there. For us to standardise everything to the US standard, it will cost them a bloody fortune. So all they've got to do now is they have to modify designs of the plans. What we have, they want the American diesel power out here in Australia, but they have to come up with their own design of the bodies. I've never been to Canada. I guess there'll be someone. I'm looking forward to going up there to spend a bit of time with Sparky, and I've got to try to find the details of a mate of mine not far from him.
Oh, okay. I just found him.
Who's that? He's not here. Hey, Eric, how are you? Good evening, buddy.
All right, I'm gonna. Sorry to interject here. Whoops. I got to get the right screen up here.
Uh-oh.
Dude, work with me. Okay, so let's see. Present, share screen, window. There it is. Yeah, this is Joyce on the Raper Bond. That's Grosse Freiheitsstrasse. And you got the famous dollhouse, which in the 60s and, well, probably the 50s, 60s, and 70s was one of the naughtiest places you could go to. Now it's just a famous strip club. And then a little further down is the Top 10 Club where the Beatles played. And then one street over to the left and down is what used to be the Kaiser Keller where the Beatles first played in Hamburg. But yeah, that is the
You're very well educated on that street there, Anthony.
Hey, yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Joyce. Whoops. And then that's pictures from the next trip, which is a beautiful town called Celle. And yeah, Joyce and I are having a bratwurst and a drink, and across the street are all these just typical shops, including a kids' play zone area and everything else. The Beatle Museum is literally straight across from me. And then 2 doors over is this world's largest sex toy shop. Let's put it that way. And I won't explain why Joyce is missing. No, I didn't say that. I'm sorry. Joyce is taking the picture, by the way. But yeah, so you can see, yeah, this was the Raper Bond. But yeah, it's just the stuff is out there day and night. Uh-oh, what did I do? There I am. I'm back. Actually, I've got the Beetle trains from Hornby. I haven't bought all of them because some of them are just crap, but I did buy one. Hello, Jean Ricard. Go to bed.
He heard us mentioning his name.
If it's Beatles, I've seen it and owned it.
Yeah. G'day, Jean. How are you, buddy? I was just talking about you. You know where it all is. You're the one that been guiding Anthony, haven't you? So you can tell us.
He didn't. When we went to Hamburg, he couldn't keep up with us. We had to keep leaving him behind while we went into all the clubs.
Come on, Sean. Go on. You're falling behind. You're leaving your Danish to shame. You know, you guys are the leaders in that subject for a lot of years.
So yes, Nathan, that was Hamburg, Germany, a famous street in Hamburg, Germany. Famous for all the wrong reasons, other than when the Beatles, before they became famous, They were just a motley crew of dudes trying to learn how to play music in Liverpool. They got hired to go to Hamburg. They did 3 trips to Hamburg between 1959 and 1961, 3 or 4 different trips to Hamburg. And it was in Hamburg where they really honed their skills, because they actually would work at bars where they had to play 12-hour shifts. 12 hours as a band playing, and they became tight. They developed their skills. So by the time they went back to Liverpool, they had really developed their sound, their unique style together. And then they went on and became the greatest rock and roll band in the history of the world. But yeah, that's where they got their chops together. Yep. It's where they honed their skills, because they had to play 12-hour sets to drunks and sailors from around the world. But they were also exposed to a lot, because they were bringing in all these great, the latest 1950s, late 50s, early 60s American country western, also where it wasn't as easily available in the UK. Black rock and roll. So they really were meeting all the sailors from around the world and getting all the newest music and hearing all the latest stuff. And they just, this sounds like cool. Let's try to imitate that sound. And then they would hear another sound, and then it would just, in their brains, they blended it.
Yeah. Nathan, yeah, they did have a lot of their own private trains, but I mean, it was actually government trains. And after the World War II, what a lot of it happened was, a lot of those items, a lot of the trains were given out to a lot of the eastern, or a lot of countries that were involved, that was invaded by Germany. As part of the, what they call it, restitution, because a lot of the infrastructure in that got damaged.
Good night, Eric.
They had good night, Eric. Because they had so much surplus stock that was actually given to countries which was formed just after World War II, like Yugoslavia. You had Czechoslovakia. Italy, they had their own stuff, but then you had parts of Hungary end up getting some of their stuff back.
I think where he's really doing is the big Nazi party officials and the Nazi party in general did have its own private trains.
Yes.
But they also had secondary, like there were special trains for special occasions. And no, I'm not talking the Holocaust stuff. I'm talking the Nazi party. For example, there were trains that took certain people to certain places. How do we discuss it delicately? They had what was basically a Nazi breeding program. The town that I did the exchange with for 14 years, there used to be a castle in the middle of the town, a small castle, which had a double moat system. And so the area where the castle was called the island. Well, they tore the castle down in the 1700s, and they built up what was basically a sanitarium. And then the sanitarium became a hospital, but then the Nazis shut it down as a hospital, and they turned it into, basically, you had women that had been brought up. Their job was to sleep with the SS soldiers and have blue-eyed, blonde-haired Nazi babies.
Yeah. Now, that's what I was talking about. But see, they did also have like steam engines that they built together real quickly. It was basically the design of the 52 class steam engine, which was a 210. But the difference between it was put together real quickly to a 52. It didn't have all the fancy railings. It didn't have the smoke deflectors on the front. Refugee trains as well. Yeah, that's true.
Well, I don't know how true they are. Like Von Ryan's Express, I don't know that that's.
There are actually, there has been a few movies that are actually called out just recently, and I can't remember. I did write a list of them that I was watching, particularly when they were doing bombing of rail yards and whatnot. It's a funny. I never known German trains to have cabooses, like the big Santa Fe Southern Pacific style cabooses. USRA, but there were USRA, there were German, there were a lot of American board ones that were actually, or was it Lima, steam engines that were actually sent over to Europe there, Nathan, because there was a shortage of steam engine and motor, particularly after the war. There was a lot of stuff sent over. But you really, if you look at the movies, you really got to look at the detail. And a lot of times the detail will give it away of what's on the outside. There are some engines that are European or German engines, but then there are some that are American or Australian that are actually disguised as German countries too.
Yeah, because not a lot survived the war, and what survived the war got, as Artie was talking about earlier, it went to all over the place as reparations.
Yeah.
And then they got modified, and things got modified. So now when they film a movie, they just, well, that looks close enough, and let's bring it in, and maybe we'll, glue on some cardboard somewhere, paint it metallic black, and make it look like this, and say, it's close enough. It looks like a train. But, all you got to do is sit in a room with some German train guys or guys that really know their model train not model train, their train history. And they'll watch these movies and point out everything that's wrong.
But
they can ruin it. Like, it's just a movie. It's not supposed to be real.
Actually, Roco actually just done some steam engines just now in this year's release. When you look into them, there are actually a lot of them which were mass produced even before World War II. There were just hundreds of them built. Where's it? Yeah, Evo would know. Where's Evo we've been wanting?
He's in bed.
He's in bed.
He's in bed.
He's the expert. Evo is the one to talk to, Nathan. He knows more about it. He's the walking encyclopedia. But was it a 460? Yeah, it was a 460 or 260 or 460 that were made in Germany. And there was countless of them. They were like back in the US, you had the Mikados, and the Mikado was the most common one. And then you had the F-17.
No, it's all good, Nathan. It's fine. I mean,
it's fine.
Talking about the Nazis is not a bad thing. Talking about the Nazis in a good way is a bad thing.
Yeah, when we're talking about rolling stock, that's different. That's one thing. History is history. That's right, Andy. But the steam engines I did have in Germany at the time were as common as like in the United States. I had a GP9s and the F7s. Everybody had one. Reg GFX. G'day, mate. How are you? Turned up just as we about to. Yeah, Todd, how are you? So anyway, I'm going to knock off because it's a very nice day here. I've got a few things I still need to finish up. I need to find my lounge room. My coffee table's disappeared. My floor's disappeared before the big Amazon box that had the monitors in it. And of course I didn't have. And of course when I don't have the four-legged creature. Oh, no problem there.
The problem is, John, even when we remember history, we seem to just be wanting to repeat things.
Yeah, and doing things
because we live in denial that we're repeating history.
Yeah.
Well, I know that happened then, but that's not what's happening now.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't German and Nazi. That was a stunt they did both here in the United States and several places in the United Kingdom and in Japan, where they went into cars. They would have a line of taxis and they would have all the Beatle fans everywhere, and they would have them run into this one group of taxis. The fans would run to that group of taxis, and they would just literally go through the door out the other way and into another row of taxis. They portrayed that once in the movie Help, or not Help, Hard Day's Night. In the movie Hard Day's Night, they portray that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that. But all in all, yeah.
No. It's your show. Spit it out.
Is it? So anyway, yeah, I just want to try to get out. Well, since I don't have a four-legged creature, because when you had one of them, you had to clean up straight away, and otherwise it would just destroy everything. So I need to clean up one. But I need to get it sorted out.
Yeah, it's sad. I don't want to bring up a sad memory, but basically you could say, look, I got 4 monitors, 3 for me to plug in and 1 for Pixie to chew on.
Basically, that
here, Pixie, chew on this one. Leave the others alone.
Oh no, she would have been going for the boxes. She would have gone straight for the boxes. But anyway, I want to get onto that. Hopefully, everything goes all well. I can get my back room set up. This is all set up in the back room, and I'll be in there next weekend. It all depends on my shoulders. They've been backing up real bad.
I'm sorry.
Any show in the morning for you guys in the UK and US tomorrow. On my time today. I'll try to get on there tonight, Andy. Everybody, thank you for coming. Yes, I'm still around. So hopefully I'll be able to
he's still around. He's still around. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still around. I'm getting around. Yeah, I look like I'm having triplets. That's the other reason I'm scared to go in. I'm not going to be able to fit in that little passageway. But anyway, guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for your support. Take care, everybody, and until next time, have fun, stay safe, and bye for now.
Take care, everybody.